I believe God has a first fruit, an earnest. He has a root in the earth. There's going to be a people that are going to be raised up. I don't know what generation. I just want to ask God, let me be a part of it. Look, I can be on roller skates or on a crutch. In a wheelchair or whatever. I just want to see it. You know, I've been across it, got the grapes. You guys got it too. Because it's the teaching, but we want the manifestation of it. Am I right? It's settled in heaven. It's got to be settled in our hearts. Because when the Father can find the people without mixture, check this out. When Father can find, this is mine, by the way. Okay. When Father can find the people without mixture, He can release His Spirit without measure. When He can find the people without mixture, He can release His Spirit without measure. That's why Jesus was able to have the Spirit without measure, because there was no mixture.
Yes.
That's what He wants. That's why the example is set. We're trying to carve out and create something contrary and trying to figure out why there's no stability. Why we don't have the continuity. Why we don't have the foresight. It's because there's an example that's already left to us. And I know our visions and our callings on a generic plane is different, and our assignments are different, and our functionalities are different, and our endowments are different. But there's an example that God has placed that's written, that is comprised in the Scripture, that is sealed by the blood of Jesus, that speaks of better things. Have to get to the point to say, you know what? I want to become that people without mixture. That's what I live for. I don't just live for Bible studies. I don't live just so I can pontificate or share. I'm not living for those things, to be able to get on Facebook and share this and points and all that. I live because I'm waiting for the day when everything that's mixture in my life, all the leaven is purged out, and I can bring forth a new lump. That's what I want. And that is the heart of the Father. If you don't want that, then you're still in the church.
Amen.
Because in the church, Pentecost has leaven. 2 loaves of leaven, am I right? So a person that's still operating on a Pentecostal charismatic mentality has made frenemies with certain things in their life. But when you get into tabernacles, it's the harvest of everything that is God. There's no room for anything other than God. That is the basis of tabernacles. God Himself in totality, in a people. Yes. That don't get you excited. Look, you can tell the ones that ain't full of that one. The rest of them that are connected to their spirit, don't tell me you digested it. You ain't digesting it. You're measuring it. You're trying to see where am I at in my mind. Whoa, that line went out. That's outside of my sphere. Yeah, it is. And that's its intention. And it should stir you. Provoke you to love and good works. You should say, man, I'm provoked tonight. I've been camping out in low places. Amen. But that is the cry of the prodromos. If you're church now, that's not your cry. I just want to hold on. I just want to make it in. I'm not looking for transformation. I'm looking for transformation. My soul is looking for transformation. I want my soul to make its boast in the Lord.
Yes.
Not my spirit. Spirit is good. But I want my soul to be weaned. Yes, when Father can find the people without mixture, He can release His Spirit. You better capitalize that S, by the way. His Spirit. Well, I'm just playing. Oh, you did? I'm talking about hers. His Spirit without measure. I know you get the right to be like, I do it too. When I'm typing, I'm like, oh, let me go ahead and get that big S, so everybody knows what spirit it is. But I lost my mind. I lost my frame of thought, never mind. But that's what He wants, folks. You can stay in the empire realm if you want, but when that which is perfect is come, that is tabernacles. You ever read it? It said, except you be born again of water and the Spirit, you can't enter the kingdom. Water is Passover. Spirit is Pentecost. But to enter the kingdom is tabernacles. I think in threes. Can't help it. God 5 bills in threes. I don't want to just be saved and sanctified.
Say that.
I want to be saved, sanctified, and serving.
Hey.
So it's time to push out religion in order that we no longer walk in the forms and rituals of an old day, in an old paradigm, but that we can become representative of God's higher purpose. Those particular concepts were feasible in one season. It brought us to where we are today. But there is much more. And we can't continue to say that the old is better. It's not. If we keep saying the old is better, or I'm comfortable, or I don't know what's going on, that's the same concept. I don't want to know what God expects from me. If you go to this church, you can't say that. If you was at some other church on a different block in a different city, you can say it. But here, you already know. Because what I share with you, not to you, what I share with you is what God is speaking to you. Big difference. Unless you want to do your own thing, then that's a whole other subject. But for us to be on one page, you need to understand there's a higher purpose. And we know that heaven itself is bulging, pregnant with the promises of God. Waiting for somebody to claim. Waiting for a people in the earth that is free of mixture. So that we can have the Spirit without measure in us. Because too many of us are not aware of our rights and are living below our privileges because of ignorance. And through ignorance, Satan has legal jurisdiction over us, trying to take advantage of us through the lack of our knowledge, or the lack of knowledge. He don't want you to recognize what I'm sharing with you tonight. For it is his desire to keep you a slave to sin. And sin, we're not talking about the 17 kings in Galatians 5. I'm talking about missing the mark. There's a mark upon us to be conformed to his image. That is our mark. Until you can't see remnants of him coming up in your personality, it's imperative that you recognize those different expressions of him coming up in your life. We like the Big Bang Theory. We want the dramatic stuff. We want to be able to, prophesy and cast out devils. And I told you, that's easy. Character is hard. Learning to walk in love is hard. Turn the other cheek is hard. Love your enemies is hard. But that is where his nature is expressed from. The fruit of the Spirit is his nature, y'all. Amen. The fruit of the Spirit, that's why it's fruit, is his nature. We want the 9 gifts, which is his ministry. That's right. His nature is the 9 gifts. So if you need something for 2018, you got 9 selections. Huh? So if you was mean as a rattlesnake last year, seriously? See, because we think he's going to bypass our soul. He ain't bypassing your soul. A house divided against itself can't stand.
Amen.
So if my mind, will, and emotions has suffered greatly through my immaturity, then I can't be clothed with Jesus. That's why I act like I do. That's why I have core values and principles in my life. Because I'm weaning her so that she can learn of her new husband. Yeah, I done established that principle so many times in this, so I don't have to be redundant about it. That's what it's all about. Putting on the mind of Christ. It's not osmosis. It has no respect for, how to put it, longevity, length of time. How long you've been a part of a ministry. What you've done in that ministry. Who you know in that ministry. Who prophesied to you in that ministry. Who laid hands on you in that ministry. No, he don't care about it. That's ministry. The the one that's going to be verified, your spirituality is going to be verified as you be transformed in your mind, the spirit of your mind. That's where he's going to come through. And that has become the biggest turnoff for the world. We want to give them spirit. We want to give them things off our table that's spiritually inclined. But in order for the two to merge, heaven and earth to come together, it's going to come through our soul, our mind, will, and emotion.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Because Satan, he wants to keep us in infancy, y'all. He wants to keep us forever learning. Never even come to the knowledge of the truth. You don't care how many conferences you go to, conventions you go to. He don't care nothing about it. If he can just keep you in infancy. He don't care what you know. He's not. And I told you before, your revelation is not a threat.
Right. Right.
It's not. It's the manifestation.
Yeah.
It's who you know who you are.
Yeah.
It ain't what you know.
That's right.
It's who you know who you are. As you begin to grow in your faith. Remember, we got the pattern. Matthew 4, Luke 4. Jesus is in the wilderness. It is written, it is written, it is written. Until he submitted himself to the powers that be, being God, in him, that's what the enemy do. But he was tempted him with the word, with the scriptures. So the enemy can keep us in infancy, never being able to be awakened to true sonship, having no appetite for the things of the kingdom. We'll always walk around and our voice distorted because we have the sound that comes from our mouth is immature.